Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, and news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from Medusa. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Astroplanetary karate loses again. Argentina arrests notorious Russian cult leader after hospital scandal. Hospital. Scandal alerts police. And guess what time this is posted? 3:30. Interesting. April 1st, 2025. On March 28th, police in Argentina arrested 14 people in a human trafficking case as the suspects attempted to fly to Brazil. Almost everyone apprehended is a Russian national. Police arrested 8 suspects at the airport in the city of Bariloche and another 6 in Buenos Aires. According to the newspaper Economics Bariloche, or how do I say it? Bariloche, Konstantin Rudny, the founder of the Russian cult Ashram of Shambhala, is among the detainees. During his arrest, Rudny reportedly tried to slit his own throat with a razor blade, but police intervened. As reported by Economica, Bariloche, El Observador, and El Nequan, Rudny had arrived in Bariloche in early March with several women and had been selling yoga courses for $5,000 apiece. And the photo is from Argentina National Security Ministry. A police inquiry began after a young pregnant woman. Don't you guys want to know how old she is? A young pregnant woman. I guess she doesn't have an age, you guys. You guys do realize why people do that, right? Was brought to a hospital in Bariloche, though her passport identified her as 22, it does say. Hospital workers judged her to be no older than 15. Okay, good. They touched on that. It's probably some type of a fraudulent passport. She was unable to say where she lived. Staff also noticed that the 2 women who accompanied her showed signs of physical abuse. This is called mandated reporting, guys. So if you didn't know, now you know. The hospital reported the strange case to police, who placed the woman and her companions under surveillance. On March 21st, the woman returned to the hospital to give birth, again accompanied by a group of women. Those are the handlers. These companions later destroyed the document where she recorded the name of her baby's father. That's called destroying evidence. That same day, police arrested the companions. Good. 5 Russian nationals and 1 Mexican citizen. They were soon released, but the investigation continued. The young mother and her newborn were moved to a secure location. Wow, maybe LAPD should take some notes here. Police later searched the house where the young woman had been living and found documents belonging to Rudny. He fled. They always do because they're cowards. He fled before the search, but was eventually apprehended on March 28th at the Bariloche airport. You guys remember Keith Raniere? Biggest coward on earth. When the authorities caught him, Rudny was wearing slippers and carrying cocaine. Among the other 13 arrested in Bariloche and Buenos Aires, at least 12 were women. Many showed signs of malnutrition, and at least one had lost nearly all her hair. Wow. You guys do know that that's describing a lot of these Scientologists that we're seeing. And I'm not saying all Scientologists are good. It's absolutely not true. But there are some of these Scientologists that do need our help. It's a fact. Argentinian National Security Ministry. Check that out, LAPD. Or maybe you guys are out doing rituals. One does wonder, don't they? From the Bariloche house, police also recovered 131 tablets containing cocaine, 12 cell phones, a satellite phone, a Starlink antenna, 10 SIM cards, nearly $15,000 in cash, and more than 1 million Argentine pesos, $930. Officials are still investigating Rodney's following in Argentina. And they're not going to say cult? His ties to drug trafficking, like LRH, and whether the women arrested with him are victims of sexual exploitation. I bet they are. I bet they are. And honestly, where I'm at, I'm very suspicious of a lot of articles. And I might get into that one day. How Rudny created a cult. Oh, they do. In Russia. Konstantin Rudny is 57 years old. He was born in Novosibirsk and graduated from a mechanical engineering college. In the late 1980s, he began teaching yoga in his hometown. It's always with the yoga. A practice he'd reportedly studied since school, according to the publication Snob. Later, Rudny and his students began selling pamphlets and hosting paid seminars about achieving enlightenment. Go look to see what happened in the Bikram. More sickness. A devoted circle began to form around Rudny, and his yoga seminars transformed into a full-fledged cult. It was always a cult. He's actually a handsome guy when he was younger. He began dressing in bizarre outfits. Now, that's the narrative, you guys. Adopting new names ranging from Satilian Sikorsky to Sri Janan Avatar Muni, and demanding unquestioning obedience. Like the last 5 years of all of our lives. Because you're an anti? Rudny's doctrine, is that word again, a jumble of paganism, Eastern religions, medicine, occultism, and much else. Occultism. Kind of seems like the underlying thread to a lot of these, doesn't it? But what do I know, right? Held that enlightenment required his followers to renounce their families. Just like Scientology. Almost like it was written by the same people, huh? Give them all their possessions, like Scientology, and fully devote their lives to him, like Scientology. Clear the planet. He also claimed to be a visitor from Sirius. Wait a minute, you guys. Haven't we heard this one before? Maybe it was this guy that I remember he said he was from Sirius. But why is it always the planet Sirius that is brought up? I'm just wondering what that is. Is that related to the... what is it called? The cube? The black cube? And this was him in 2008. The cult's members lived in apartments Rudny called ashrams. Because Russia would never allow this. You guys know that, right? I don't think they would. Which he purchased across Novosibirsk using the considerable profits his activities generated. Like Scientology. The group primarily comprised of young women, of course, with whom Rudney had sex, presenting it as a vital spiritual practice. Where have we heard this one before? There was this other, I don't remember this guy's name. There was another cult leader that was doing the exact same thing. I wish I could remember his name. He was really bad. It started with a B, as in Bravo. And he was actually having sexual relations with the men and the women. And it was such a horrible situation. And then the officials, the authorities came in and broke it up. And they broke it up so well that, you know what he did? He went to Hawaii and started a new one. Don't you guys wonder why that is? Okay, where am I? Investigators, the ones that don't get named, later discovered that the cult practiced group sex, RAPE, homosexual acts, and bestiality. You guys know what that is, right? I'm going to say this again. If you know, you know. The cult practiced group sex, otherwise known as an orgy, rape, homosexual acts, and bestiality. You guys know what religion does that, right? It's not hidden in plain sight. They told you what it was. The occult. Now, occult means hidden. But what they do is inverted and diabolical, repugnant, filthy, disgusting. Rudney's book, The Fool's Path, served as the cult's Bible. The cover featured photos of Rudney surrounded by half-naked women in the group. Does this sound like Raniere? Although, to my knowledge, these other things were not practiced in his cult. Whom he also liked to film. Wonder how much he was charging for those films, don't you guys wonder? Just like all these alleged sex trafficking rings that are being broken up, which I'm not going to go into. Isn't it amazing we never see the faces? We never meet anyone in person. We never see where these alleged children go. And they never bring up the child porn films, do they? Just like they don't bring up the child porn films that Diddy and probably a lot of other people in his circle were doing, allegedly. Not to mention the blood sacrifice. Okay. Police seized this footage after his arrest. Rudney exploited his followers physically and sexually. He forced his priestesses to fight one another. That's a narcissistic move. Beat and humiliated them himself, and often starved them. Junior cult members were chronically underfed, like Scientology. A combination of exhaustion, like Scientology, forced physical activity, like the military and Scientology, yoga and calisthenics, bizarre rituals like astro-planetary karate, and dynamic meditation. In between raping and bestiality, and they're not bringing up blood sacrifice, but I won't be too surprised. And strict control by senior cult members, like Scientology, left these people physically and psychologically drained. It's how they control them. Why do you guys think for the last 5 years we were told, you can't do this, you can't do that? Everyone was glued to the news. I haven't watched the news in 30 years. Everybody's walking around exhausted. Because that's when they inject their thought programs. Rudney leaves Russia after prison. There you go. And don't you guys find it a little strange, like, if Russia knew that this guy got out of prison because he already had a cult, I'm just guessing here, wouldn't they have alerted Brazil? Don't you guys wonder about some things? The cult ashram of Shambhala operated legally in Russia for nearly 2 decades. That alone tells you a lot right there, you guys. Because you guys know how Russia doesn't play around. The fact that it was allegedly legal for 2 decades. I don't want to get in too deep, but you guys should know by now. Rudny amassed thousands of followers and opened branches in several cities, despite complaints from the families of those who joined. You know, like suppressed people. Elena Zakharova, who was once one of Rudny's close associates, told Snob that the police became aware of the cult as early as the late 1990s, but the attention didn't stop it from growing. Yeah, isn't that weird? Don't you guys wonder how that is or why that is? And attracting new followers, including businessmen and government officials. I'm going to take a drink of my water. You guys should know what's going on. They know, they know, they know. The authorities finally arrested Rudny in 2010 for organizing a group engaged in violence, rape, and lewd acts, and drug offenses. They're not mentioning minors here yet, but isn't 15 considered a minor? The young girl who was 15 and given birth to a baby? Kind of think that's a child, right? In 2013, he was sentenced to 11 years in prison, and a Russian court formally banned Ashram of Shambhala in 2014. Don't worry, though, they can go to other countries and start up. Doesn't that make you know what's going on? You guys should have a gist already. Although the cult weakened after Rudny's arrest, it continued under new names. Rudny went from prison in 2021 after serving his full sentence and reportedly moved to Montenegro. Former followers say they suspected he would try to rebuild the cult. All by himself, right? In October 2024, the Montenegrin authorities arrested several members of Ashram of Shambhala who were filming pornography at the Zablizhak ski resort. Would that be with minors as well? Considering there was a 15-year-old girl giving birth to a baby? Why are they not saying child or minor in this article? You guys wondering? I'm wondering. At the Zablizhak ski resort, though Rudny himself was not among those apprehended. Oh, wow, you guys. How convenient is that? Okay, I'll leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.